The souls of those you love may be crying out for help, and you might not even know it. Today, you'll uncover what the Bible and tradition truly reveal about purgatory. We'll delve into the visions of saints and the messages they brought back from this mysterious place. But why is purgatory so rarely discussed? Is it an inconvenient secret of the Catholic Church, or simply a mystery humanity has yet to fully understand? Today, we'll explore stories that few dare to tell, so get ready to uncover forgotten truths, supernatural accounts, and theories that challenge everything you think you know about life after death. And of course, if you enjoy mysteries and the secrets of the Church, consider subscribing to the channel. Here, we always seek the truth hidden in the shadows. Purgatory is one of the most intriguing yet controversial concepts in Catholic theology. After all, what do we really know about it? Why has this doctrine been shrouded in shadows for so long? The idea of purification after death isn't exclusive to Catholicism. Many scholars believe the concept was influenced by ancient pagan beliefs, such as the spiritual cleansing practices observed among the Greeks and Romans. However, it wasn't until the Middle Ages that purgatory began to take shape as a specific place rather than an abstract idea. But was purgatory always a biblical truth? Or was it shaped to serve larger interests? In the 12th century, the Church began using the idea of purgatory to justify practices like the sale of indulgences, something that sparked tremendous controversy. Historical documents show that while the faithful were encouraged to pay to reduce their loved ones' time in purgatory, significant sums of money flowed into the Church's coffers. This doctrine also took centuries to become official. It was only at the Council of Florence, 1439, that purgatory was formally recognized as part of the Church's teachings, and at the Council of Trent, 1545-1563, that it was definitively defended against Protestant criticisms. So is purgatory a divine truth or a tool created to consolidate the Church's power? The answers may be more complicated than we imagine. To many, purgatory is an invisible mystery, but for some saints it was a frighteningly real place, revealed through supernatural visions. These experiences raise an intriguing question. Were they divine messages meant to warn us, or merely reflections of the imagination of their time? Saint Catherine of Genoa in the 15th century was one of the first to offer a detailed description of purgatory. To her, it wasn't just a place of physical suffering, but a spiritual fire of purification, a reflection of divine love. In her writings, Catherine says, "The soul, upon contemplating the perfection of God, perceives its own imperfections and chooses out of love to go through purgatory to purify itself and become worthy of Him." Catherine saw purgatory as a place of hope where souls voluntarily underwent purification. However, critics question whether her vision was inspired by a genuine spiritual experience or simply an interpretation of the religious fervor of her time. Moving into the 20th century, we find the famous Saint Padre Pio, known for his supernatural experiences. On several occasions, he reported apparitions of souls from purgatory. One striking case involved a man who appeared in his cell, revealing he was trapped in purgatory for neglecting his religious duties in life. Padre Pio celebrated a mass for him, after which the soul was reportedly freed. These encounters reinforce the role of prayers and masses for the dead. But were these apparitions a spiritual reality, or the result of Padre Pio's intense devotion? Saint Faustina, renowned for her revelations of divine mercy, also had unsettling visions of purgatory. In one diary entry, she described, "I saw a place full of fire and suffering, but the souls there had great hope. They depend entirely on the prayers of the living for their liberation." She claimed the souls in purgatory pleaded for help, and her visions often carried a clear message. The living have a crucial role in alleviating the suffering of these souls. These stories leave an unsettling question. What if these souls are truly crying out for help? Are we doing enough to hear their pleas? These visions were not just personal experiences, they shaped the faith of millions. However, critics suggest these descriptions might have been influenced by historical and cultural contexts. Could these visions have been subconscious manifestations of the fears and beliefs of their time? To many, purgatory is a symbol of faith and hope. But behind this doctrine lies a history of secrets the Catholic Church has kept in the shadows for centuries. What was really at stake in the construction of this idea? Is purgatory a divine truth or a tool of power and control? While the idea of purification after death has roots in ancient traditions, purgatory as we know it was formalized only at the Council of Florence in 1439. Until then, it wasn't an official doctrine of the Church, a detail few are aware of. Why did it take centuries for such an important idea to be defined? And more importantly, what interests were behind this decision? Many historians suggest that purgatory not only addressed spiritual concerns, but also served financial interests. In the Middle Ages, the Church began using the doctrine to collect funds through the sale of indulgences. The message was simple and effective. Donations could ease the suffering of souls in purgatory. This practice turned purgatory into a powerful tool. Faithful Catholics, fearful of their loved ones' fate, paid significant sums to ensure their release. This resulted in immense wealth for the Church, but also raised an inevitable question. To what extent was purgatory a doctrine based on faith or fear? Purgatory was a central point of Martin Luther's criticisms in 1517. In his famous 95 Theses, Luther denounced the use of fear to manipulate the faithful and raise money, accusing the Church of turning purgatory into a market for souls. Was purgatory shaped more to serve material interests than spiritual ones? Or was it a reflection of the deep beliefs of that time? The impact was so significant that after the Protestant Reformation, the Church felt compelled to reinforce the doctrine during the Council of Trent, 1545-1563, as a response to criticism. Yet, reports emerged of clergy members secretly questioning the validity of the doctrine, but remaining silent to avoid further destabilizing the Church's structure. The true history of purgatory remains an enigma. Is it a faith-revealed truth, or a strategic construct to strengthen the Church's power over the centuries? These unanswered questions lead us to wonder what other mysteries lie hidden within the Catholic Church. Purgatory wasn't confined to theological texts. It was vividly depicted in paintings, sculptures, and literature, shaping how generations visualized the afterlife. But could these representations conceal something deeper than mere expressions of faith? During the Middle Ages and Renaissance, artists were encouraged by the Church to depict purgatory in striking ways. Works like Souls in Purgatory by Ludovico Carracci portrayed souls engulfed in flames, surrounded by angels and saints, struggling for deliverance. Sculptures also played a vital role. In churches across Europe, images of angels pulling souls from the flame reinforced hope while emphasizing the need for divine intercession, usually mediated by the Church. These visual details were not merely symbolic, but served as a form of catechesis for believers. A fascinating example is found in Siena Cathedral, Italy, where frescoes depict suffering souls alongside priests praying, emphasizing the central role of masses and indulgences in easing purgatorial suffering. Were these artistic representations mere expressions of faith, or were they tools to solidify the Church's authority? Historians suggest these works carried strategic messages. The depiction of souls in flames heightened fear of purgatory, while scenes of priests interceding reinforced the Church's role as a mediator in salvation. Literature also delved into this mystery. In The Divine Comedy by Dante, purgatory is portrayed as a mountain where souls ascend through suffering and purification. This vision profoundly influenced generations, blending theology with cultural and symbolic elements. Did these works reflect spiritual truth, Or were they crafted to shape believers' perceptions? Purgatory remains a cornerstone of Catholic belief, though it is less emphasized than in past centuries. The Church continues to present it as a state of purification for souls who died in God's friendship but are not yet ready for heaven. However, practices like selling indulgences, which marked the medieval purgatorial narrative, have largely been abandoned, especially after the Protestant Reformation. Yet, doubts and questions about its true nature persist. For practicing Catholics, purgatory remains a source of hope and a call to intercede for the dead. Masses for the deceased and observances like All Souls' Day highlight the belief that prayers from the living can alleviate the suffering of purgatorial souls. Additionally, many Christian denominations, particularly Protestant ones, reject purgatory entirely, claiming it lacks solid biblical foundation. Salvation for them depends solely on faith in Christ. Despite these criticisms, the Catholic Church upholds the doctrine, presenting purgatory in modern terms, less as a place of torment and more as a spiritual process reflecting God's love. Nonetheless, the questions endure. Is purgatory a legitimate spiritual truth or a doctrine still burdened by historical manipulation? For believers, it is a message of hope. For critics, an instrument of control. This tension keeps purgatory among the most mysterious and controversial aspects of Christianity. Purgatory is more than a doctrine of the Catholic Church. It is a mystery that has spanned centuries, carrying a mix of faith, controversy, and speculation. Whether seen as a state of spiritual purification or a historical construct, it continues to provoke deep reflections about what truly happens after death. For some, purgatory is a beacon of hope, a chance for redemption even after an imperfect life. For others, it is a concept shrouded in doubt, especially given its role in controversial practices like the sale of indulgences. Yet, beyond the criticisms and debates, purgatory delivers a powerful message. Life is a preparation for the divine encounter. Now, the question remains: do you believe in purgatory? Is it a revealed spiritual truth or a historical tool of control? Share your thoughts and keep exploring the mysteries of faith with us. Thank you for watching. Leave a like to let us know we're on the right track and to help us reach more people interested in the Catholic Church's mysteries. If you haven't already, subscribe to our channel so you won't miss our next videos. And now, another video is appearing on your screen, one I'm sure you'll enjoy. See you there.